Hello, and welcome to 10 out of 10 Movie Watch Again with Lauren and Russ.
Hello.
This week we have another viewer request. We're doing The Room, not to be confused with the really depressing Room. We're talking about the classic, the Tommy Wiseau The Room. Now, we weren't sure about this one because this really is the definition of like worst would watch again, but we were like, why not? Let's go for it. It is possibly the most bizarre, terrible movie I've ever seen, and like the stories around it are even more bizarre. Do you want to hit us with your part about it?
Aye. So to start with, released in June of 2003. Written by Tommy Wiseau, directed by Tommy Wiseau, produced by Tommy Wiseau, and starring
Tommy
Rick
Wiseau.
Sestero. Also Tommy Wiseau. A reported budget of 6 million, but I think we'll get into that.
Yeah,
And a reported box office of 5 million, but we can get into
that too.
yeah, aye.
I'm scared to ask. I don't know if asking why you like this movie is the right question, but do you have anything positive to say about this movie?
It's such a weird movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a good movie by any stretch.
Nope.
But there's something about it. It's just like you have to watch it.
Yeah,
you can't take your eyes off how bad it is. But it's got this weird, not a charm, but it's more like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how did this come about? Like, it's unique in that way that with most bad movies it's unwatchable, but this is strangely watchable.
No, 100%. I was thinking, like, when we were younger, this was like a party movie, if you know what I mean. Like, if we were going out or needed a drinking game, if we were at a party, The Room would always go on because it was like an easy drinking game. Like, and so when we were younger, I just remember like we watched it under the influence a lot, and we knew it was bad, but it was funny because you're with a group of people, you're all watching it for the excuse of being like, right, how many times does Tommy Wiseau do this? How many times is going to... So it's actually quite jarring watching it older and sober and just the two of us, do you know what I mean? But I'm totally with you, like, do you know the way, like, there was so many times when I would put my phone down and be like, what the fuck is going on? And then we were both like, we're trying to find logic in a movie where there is none. Do you know what I mean? Like, just sit back and watch the car crash happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously more known now for that type of film. Like, it's they call it, a midnight movie?
Yeah.
Where you just get to go to the cinema and a theatre and
have
watch
a
it.
riot.
Aye. Like, it's not a movie with taking season. That's where it's found its success.
No, totally. I'm going to get into that in a bit later on because you've got a story about that.
Aye.
But, like, totally, it's one of those movies that, like, is awful but is found its real niche audience. Like, people really look forward to these, like, midnight viewings where they can, like, throw spoons and throw footballs and all this kind of stuff about. So, in that way, it kind of has become really successful.
Oh, it's a massive success compared to what
it was
for the quality of this film. Like, this
absolutely.
is a huge success.
And then as well, I think when the Disaster Artist came out, the like James Franco, Seth Rogen telling of the behind the scenes stuff, I feel like that people that didn't know about this movie watched this movie to be like, shut the fuck up, that's not real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people like love this movie for what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, he says that he meant to make it like that, but he was taking this as serious as he could.
Yep.
Like, this was meant to be his big movie.
Yeah.
This was going to make him, and I don't know if it probably annoys him to this day that it's not for the reasons he thought it was going to be, but I mean, he's got to have made money on it now, so I mean, who's laughing, really?
No, totally. See, normally we kind of hit out with like general overview of the movie before we get cracking. I didn't know what to put because I was like, this movie's plot is all over the shop.
There's no plot. It's just everywhere.
Totally. So I'll leave it to the wise words of Tommy Wiseau. According to Tommy Wiseau, the general overview of this movie should be that it is an epic drama of love, loss, and friendship.
Fuck off.
Now take from that what you will. This is going to be, we were saying this when we were kind of compiling the notes, like, normally we have like loads of thoughts and opinions, and then the A's are pretty separate. I think in this one, to be honest, like this podcast is going to mostly be like
Yeah.
rather because there's just but we'll dive into what thoughts and opinions we have. So obviously we touched upon that this movie's became like a midnight movie. People go for like the theme of it. It's gained this huge cult following. So you've actually been to one of these viewings, Ross. You when was it Edinburgh you went through?
Yeah,
This was
Edinburgh
years ago.
Aye, with a few pals. I think it was Valentine's Day as well.
It was
Aye.
because because you were like, oh, we can't celebrate this year, and I was like, why? And I was about to get paranoid, and then you were like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Told me what you were going to do, and I was like, crack on, good man, bring me back a
I
tails.
think Tommy and Greg was there.
Amazing.
And it's quite funny because they said, oh, this is our movie. Everybody obviously knew.
Mm-hmm.
Then they just fucked off.
Amazing.
Then at the end of it, they came back and they're like, oh, get stuff signed. So, like, you went with stuff. I was like, no, you have to buy our stuff. And I was like, you fly bastards.
Please tell the internet what you have signed by Tommy Wiseau.
I've got a signed pair of underwear. I don't really know.
No. Before we move on, these things are bright yellow. They say Wiseau along the waistband.
Oh, he's no fucked about. Like,
No.
that's where he makes his money.
And these things are pride of place at the back of your drawer.
Oh, fuck it. Every time I look at him, I was like, I remember that. That was a good day.
But was it good going to see? Like, did they do all the like spoon throwing, football throwing, all that kind of stuff, or was it just
not
like
the football one? But it was a lot of spoons getting flung about.
Okay,
and
what
just
is
a lot of shouting at the screen.
What is the spoon thing?
Just the photo frames have all got spoons on them. It's just stock photos.
Oh, okay.
It's like when you buy a photo frame, it has like a generic photo on it. It's just that. Like in the movie, it's all spoons.
Amazing.
I don't know why they've just obviously not got photos.
Yeah.
They've just bought these with fuck it that.
Things they don't need like they don't need licensing for. They can just be like, there you go.
They've just bought. It just came with it probably.
Amazing. But like I remember at the time you were like, that was so bizarre, but that was so great.
Yeah.
You were steaming. I remember you coming back up road steaming. I remember as well, this is kind of off the back of your story, but also kind of off the back of saying that when we were younger, this was like a party movie. So obviously, Tommy Wiseau's drink in the movie is Scotchka, a mix of Scotch whiskey and vodka. It's not that deep. And we were at our pal's house, and he was having like I don't want to say he was having a like the room night. I feel like we were up at his, and he went, let's put on the room.
Yeah.
And we were all drinking Scotchkas. I don't remember that night, but I remember you telling me that you had an absolute nightmare trying to get me back up the road. And he only stayed like four doors down from where I was staying.
It's pretty horrendous fun. So I'll go to my first thought and opinion of it, and I think this one's pretty obvious. Lisa does the Hoff get pumped in this movie? Like, was it we timed it and the first 25 minutes
There's
is three sex
scenes. Yep.
Like, what the fuck?
But they're all like, like
it starts with a sex scene.
And like, was it 4 minutes in, 4 minutes 30 in, or something like that?
And at what point, like, when you're writing a movie, obviously this guy's fucking cracked, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. But we need a sex scene to start this movie with.
So I actually have something about that in useless information. Do you want me to just tell you it now?
Aye.
Right, okay. So Tommy Wiseau was adamant on the crew film him naked because he said the movie won't sell unless they see my ass. Direct quote from the Wiseau. And he basically would argue with the camera guys while they were filming the sex scenes. He was like, no, you must zoom in here. You must zoom in here. I need to see full this. And it was like, he would keep the set open. So like, normally, like when they're filming sex scenes in movies, it's closed and stuff. But he was just like, "Hi, everybody, come on in, come see me naked." And like the lassie who plays Lisa was like, "I don't know about this." And Tommy Wiseau was like, "No, it's pure fine." And with like, apparently the director was like, in some of these sex scenes we need to have different angles and like do different things, and Tom Wiseau was like, no, it's about me, my ass is on camera. So like the director was basically like, right, genuinely he was like, the movie won't sell without it. But the director was like, do you want to try maybe other positions, do you want to, so that not every sex scene's the same? And Tom Wiseau was like, no, it's not about her, it's all about me. And I was just like, amazing. I was like, there's so many weird stories about Tommy Wiseau, but this being like, my ass single-handedly will sell this movie and fuck the lassie, like, Amazing. I've no words.
Not even that. She's naked and like obviously you see her breasts and that in this. So everybody's just there staring at her like her chebs.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, and his arse,
But you wonder
forget.
why. You wonder who, like the crew now is like, this is the right. Like this isn't how this works.
Well, there's so many stories of there were so many stories anyway. But then when the Disaster Artist was made, when that came out, like 2017 or something,
I can't remember. It must be.
that movie's basically the retelling of the like behind the scenes, and there's all the bits in that of like the fuck. But like, do you know, at the time I was like, oh, it can't have been that mental. But then see, when I was like reading up all this stuff or used information, I'm like, the Disaster Artist seemed pretty spot on, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, he was a riot, and that like he would like sit and scream at people all day for different things and stuff. It was absolutely nuts, absolutely mental.
It's just I don't understand. Like for the Disaster Artist, especially, you hear the story.
Mm-hmm.
How does he convince these people?
Yeah.
To do these things?
Yeah.
Because he's not a charismatic person.
No, he's so creepy.
Yeah, he can barely speak English.
Yeah.
So how? Like that's one issue I had with the book and the movie is that Greg Sestero just goes for this. Is it why are you following him out everybody?
Yeah, it's so bizarre. Yeah. Because
there's no reason whatsoever that you would listen to him.
And Stephen, I mean, you just need to look at Tommy Wiseau to be like, you're a fucking weirdo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but then there's all these stories from Greg Sestero, sorry, his book, and then obviously later on, it's like Tommy Wiseau was like constantly changing stories about where money was coming from, where he was from, what work he'd done previously, blah, 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 blah. And I just kind of feel like you're following a guy who can't make up his mind on what his own backstory is, and you're like, yes, let's go make this fucking shocker.
Where does he move for again? He moves to, is it LA with him?
Yeah.
I can't remember where from for Disaster Arts, but
yeah,
he just goes into it
wholeheartedly, full
hog, and I was like,
on.
that there's obviously there's going to be stuff made up in it. Like you can't think with most of these types of books that always is, but that wouldn't fly. Surely not.
Yeah, and I think as well, like Tommy Wiseau being, it's like he never tells the same story twice, so you never really know what's true and what's not. Like, I feel like that's not helped Greg Sestero. I mean, the way Greg Sestero's putting it out is in like, this is fucking weird, this guy's fucking weird, we did this movie, it was grim. But like, Tommy Wiseau isn't helping his own case because you don't know what to believe and what not to believe, so you're like, you are sus as fuck, my man. Do you know what I mean? Apparently the lassie Lisa, this was the only job she could get. She was an up and coming actress, and this was the only job she could get, so she was like, fuck it, I'll go full hog for you. And by golly, she did.
She really took a lot of champ.
She really did. Obviously, going off the back of talking about the Disaster Artist and things, and obviously that then reignited people's interest in The Room.
Yeah.
But they really did their best when they were making the Disaster Artist of keeping Tommy Wiseau involved but not involved. Like, they would be like, oh, come look at this, right, fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's that really famous clip of when they're going up, because funnily enough, The Room never got any accolades, but the Disaster Artist did.
Yeah, that won a few things.
Yeah. So they went up for one of the Golden Globes. They went up to say their speech, and like Franco and Rogan and everyone else, they're too busy like congratulating each other that Tommy Wiseau just makes a fucking beeline for the microphone, starts talking, and James Franco's like, whoa, what are we like? And it's like, they all knew how cracked he was, and they all knew that he thought he was this genius, and he just wasn't getting that everyone was like, not taking the piss out of him, but taking the piss out of him, kind of thing.
Yeah, they're laughing at him, not with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and other things about, like, going back to the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went on quite a tangent there.
She's remarkably calm for a woman that claims she's getting beat.
Yeah.
Just casually off the cuff. He's hitting me.
Oh, what we like.
Then when he goes to confront us I say confront her, they're just sitting there talking.
I did not hit her. I did not.
I didn't hit you. And she never says anything.
No, she's like, I borrow you.
Like, I don't see, like, obviously he wrote this as well, but where does this, like, how can he not see there's no logic in this whatsoever?
Yeah, totally.
Like, the majority of this is just, obviously, it's all a muddled mess.
Yeah.
But you go for, you start off with the sex scene,
Mm-hmm.
then was it the mum with cancer? Then he fucking, he's either a fucking junkie or he's a drug dealer.
Yeah. But which is never confirmed or denied.
Then there's promotions at work, it doesn't happen. There's all this shit. Like, why is it all in this movie?
No,
There's no
totally.
need for it to be in this movie.
And also, see how you're saying like she takes being allegedly beat like a champ, right? There's also, they're supposed to be engaged and it's supposed to be like a month before their wedding, right? And all of his pals are like, oh no, I don't know about this, I don't know about this. And his like psychologist pal Peter is like, she's a sociopath, she can't love anyone. And they're all just pure like, oh well. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a mix of terrible script and terrible acting, do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, because even with we've seen many other movies where there's been great actors with terrible scripts,
Yeah.
and even though the movie's not good, they've worked with what they've got, right?
Oh,
So
aye.
I'm not trying to say in a parallel universe The Room is actually a good movie, but I feel like if there was people there who knew what they were doing and were actually like passable actors, I don't think this movie would have. But then I suppose that would then mean that this movie wouldn't have that
No,
so bad
this
it's good
script,
energy.
there was
do you know what I
nobody
mean?
could make this movie good.
Well, I'm
Like,
trying to
this
find a
script
silver
is-
lining.
Like, it's all over the place. There's no plot. There's no coherence in this movie whatsoever. There's no way this would have been successful.
Do you know as well, like off the back of the script and stuff, see, technically the dubbing, awful.
Oh,
There's so many bits where Tommy Wiseau is like talking out of sync. Like, I was like that to you, what is going on with this?
yeah,
Like,
no, it's just that's just how bad it is.
yeah, because I was like, should we turn it off, start again? Like, what's going on? And then there's also parts where like you can see the actors' mouths not moving,
Yeah.
but their lines are coming out.
Oh,
and
it's just
like,
bad dubbing, yeah.
yeah. It's terrible. And like the soundtrack is so bizarre as well.
Oh, it's so out of place.
It's like Channel 5 dramatic, intense score, but the only actual songs in it are like Poundland Steel, Poundland Brandy, that one that sounds like Poundland Stevie Wonder. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Another thing that annoys me, why is he always laughing?
Ha ha ha.
Like, every time he does a line,
what a story, Mark.
or somebody says something, it's just always a fucking giggle.
Ha ha ha.
Like, is that meant to make you human? Like, what the actual fuck?
I can't say it, Ross. I'm pushing myself after like.
I bet that it's just ha ha. Like, what is that? Ha ha.
But I don't know what's worse, the ha ha or the cheep 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 cheep. Like, what kind of chicken sounds like that? Yeah, I wonder if in his head he thought the laughing made him sound like, or made him come across as like endearing and charming and la la la, but it actually just adds to the creepy factor. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if he was like, well, I don't know if I want to go into the mind of Tommy Wiseau, do you know what I mean? But I wonder if he was like, this is a choice. Like, this is a, look at me, I'm an all-round hee-hee guy. And it's like, no, you're just giving off sex offenders.
It's not even that. By all accounts, he's a human being. Right? I've not heard anything different.
Allegedly so,
right?
Yeah.
He's been around people. Like, how, what makes you think that, like, that laughing and the way he speaks to people is, or this is how people act, is it? No, it's not. You know this. You spoke to people.
It's the bit when he's talking to Mark, and Mark's like, oh yeah, this woman had 12 guys and her man found out about it and almost beat her to death. And he's like, haha, what a story, Mark.
Like,
sorry?
Why would you just, like, you wouldn't say that if you're speaking to him normally, so why would you have that in there?
No, absolutely not. Do you know what I love as well, right? Is Steve, like, throughout this god-awful script, he tries to insert these wee snippets of like Hallmark quotes. So he'll be like, if everyone loved each other, the world would be a better place. And love is blind. And friendship makes the world. And like, do you know what I mean? There's all these like random bits, but in between the like, oh, hi, Mark, and all that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like he's sitting in his gaff being like, this is life changing. Like, people are going to get a message from this movie, and everyone else is just like, what?
See, this is my last thought and opinion on it. It leads into that. Is that in all these movies, like all bad movies, like you have like him, Tommy Wiseau, Neil Breen, even Steven Seagal, And it's that
You
they,
hate Steven Seagal and he's on it.
they all portray like this holier than thou, they do
Yeah.
everything to help everybody type of characters. Is it who you try to impress?
Yeah.
There's no reason why you should make these like that.
Yeah.
Like it's always, oh, they're the wise people. They'll help anybody, do it for anybody, and is it like we all know it's bullshit.
Yeah. Steven Seagal. Yeah, it's all like the creepy looking ones. I mean, like Steven Seagal's always like, oh, I need to go fight the mob to save this like school of starving orphans or something.
Yeah, but then they do weird shit in these movies as well. Is it like? I understand you just want to do it to fucking dry hump a naked woman, but like,
because no one else is coming near you unless they're paid.
Like that, and I'm sure Neil Breen, he plays God in one of his fucking weird movies.
Amazing. Is that the other guy with like the really long, the kind of fake martial arts guy? You've watched so many videos on like shit movies. I get them all confused.
No, it's not the martial arts guy. It's oh fuck, I can't remember what his ones are called, but that might appear at one point.
Oh God,
like
please
these are god awful.
Yeah.
Bad green screen movies all the way through.
I know what you're talking about.
He's a really old dude, but it's just he always plays this. Oh, he comes and he tries to sort world peace and end world hunger and all that nonsense.
I'm here to clean up this town.
And it's like, fuck off. You're just a sad old man with nothing better to do. It's really infuriating why. I mean, Steven Seagal does it in all his movies. Is it? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. He's just a wee old fat. Well, he's old fat
he's
now
old
anyway.
Fat.
But just living in a wee village, and these guys comes out. Oh, I'm going to fight them. Is it, mate? You've not fought anybody in years.
Yeah.
Like you're an old man, geezer. Like fucking get a rest.
I feel like the only Steven Seagal movies that we like are Under Siege, but then we watched the Under Siege movies a while ago and we were like, these are fucking awful.
They're not good.
Why are we watching these? Do you know what's funny though? Is see off the back of that, sorry, just going on a tangent about a completely other film. See when like Arnold Schwarzenegger does it though, it works. Like what's that? Like Walking Tall? No, The Rock as well. Like Walking. Well, I'm not The Rock now. The Rock when he started was it Walking Tall, where he goes back home after being in the army and the casino is like got everyone hooked on drugs and The Rock's like, nah, bother. And then what's the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger's in with Johnny Knoxville? And he's like the sheriff of the town, but they're all coming in and he's at Last Stand or something it's called. Like there are ways to make these movies work with the right people and with that edge of humour. All the guys who you've just mentioned, Wiseau, Seagal, would you say his name was Neil Breen? They do it in this kind of weird, sleazy, creepy. You know they would never. Do you know what I mean?
They'll try to take it serious.
Yeah.
Like, I believe this is what they actually feel like, what they actually think they are.
100%. 100%.
Like they are the fucking God's gift to movies.
Yeah. Because trying to railroad this tangent back onto the room, like Wiseau genuinely thinks he's made a masterpiece or thought he made a masterpiece. Do you know what I mean?
It's only once it came out, he got laughed out the fucking room.
Yeah.
They thought, no, it's a black comedy. It was intended to be.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like every movie he's made's been terrible.
Yeah.
It's just that this one seems to have stuck for some reason.
I really can't say I've watched any other Wiseau movie. I've really tried to avoid the guy as much as possible.
I don't think I've seen any of them. I don't plan to.
You do like a right shite movie, but like, what's the one with Fat Seagal sitting on a chair as he batters people? Is that a priest or something, isn't he? And he like sits on the chair as he's battering everyone.
I just watch all reviews of him. I'm like, no, I want to watch him.
I'm scared to ask, do you have a favourite scene of The Room?
There's too many. It comes to mind, but just go with the drug dealer one.
Oh, really?
Just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then it's done in 10 seconds.
We'll take him to the police station, then they're back in a couple of minutes, but that's him dealt with.
My favourite is, I did not hit her, I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
It just came out of nowhere, though, that she's saying it hit her. That he was hit by. I was like, how does that? Where does the logic come from?
I don't know, right? Because she's very she's obviously trying to find ways to get out of this fucking engagement with Tommy Wiseau, which to be fair, same. But she's going about it all the wrong way, and she's saying it to her mum, and her mum is like, no, you have to stay with him. I don't care if he hits you. Like he's good financial prospects for you, and it's like, the fuck, man? Like, what is going on in this movie?
But it's not even that. She seems to think that by saying that she gets to keep his money or something.
I know.
We don't even know what he does. He works in a bank. That's all we know.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
could be a fucking bank teller. Got no money.
Mind when Mark asks him, like, he's like, oh, we got a new client in today. Mark's like, tell me. And he's like, I cannot. It's confidential.
Aye, it's pointless. Then, oh, how's your sex life? Is it
How's
what?
your sex life, Mark?
Like, oh, this is how humans speak to each other. It's like, get yourself to fuck.
Yeah. See, if it came out that Tommy Wiseau was like an alien who was like sent down here to just check up on humanity, would not fucking surprise
See
me
if
at
that's
all.
what the movie was about. It made sense.
100%. Do you want me to do useless information now, or do you want to
no,
just dive
go
into
for
E?
it. No, go for it then. We'll do it.
Oh, God. Right, okay. So, I'm not fully confident that most of this is going to be true, right? Purely just because Tommy Wiseau makes up different backgrounds about himself, and there's also rumours about where the money came from to fund this movie and all this kind of shenanigans. So, take everything with a pinch of salt, because there's... So, he says that he made the money to fund this movie importing and selling leather jackets from South Korea. I don't know why specifically South Korea, but okay.
Probably because they can't check on us. I
go for it. Then later on, he changed the story to that he made his money out of renovating and selling properties, but there's no like receipts of him ever doing that. Some also speculated that it came from Russian gangsters, but again, there's about 6 different stories of how he came about
That's
the money.
part of the legend of him.
That's the thing.
No, you don't. Nobody knows a lot about him.
No, well, I don't know if enigmatic is the right word, because enigmatic evokes a kind of charm. This isn't that. This is just
fucking charmless,
fucking weird. Yeah. He never tells the same story twice. He has denied being European and claims that he's from New Orleans. Now, okay, like, I feel like you can deny where you come from as much as you want, but the accent is giving away everything. But he's adamant he's from New Orleans, like absolutely adamant about it.
If I remember something, one of his associates hanged he's Polish.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
like his face at Poznan, I think it is.
Go for it.
I remember reading that somewhere. That I might just be making it up though.
Yeah, well, apparently, like, on set, if crew members would speak any other language than English, he would, like, fly into a rage and, like, wreck a joint. Even, like, there's a story from Greg Sestero where he was like, oh, c'est la vie. Tommy was always like, what? What did you say? And it was, like, going off his nut. Like, even shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, people saying deja vu. He would go off his nut. He'd be like, what are you saying? So, obviously, if you've seen The Disaster Artist, that's obviously the retelling of the behind the scenes of the movie. But according to the Disaster Artist book, by the end of the movie, the real life crew, their morale was so low that no one was checking lenses, no one was sorting sound. The crew was just walking through sets and laughing. Like, there's scenes where you can hear like giggles that aren't there. That's the guy behind the camera. And like by the end, like for the last scene, the sound guys just stellotaped boom mics and fucked off, right?
Aye.
Which is why basically from his party to the very end of the movie, it sounds really bizarre. It's like super echoey. And it was basically just that the crew were like, fuck this. Like, we're so done.
They're getting paid. Fuck it.
I know.
I would love to be a movie that just getting paid, knowing it's absolute nonsense.
Yeah. Obviously, I said earlier on about thinking that him being naked would be the selling point of the movie. He also personally paid for this movie to stay in movie theaters so that it would make the cut for Oscar consideration.
Obviously, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So like, obviously, it failed to do that. Ironically, The Disaster Artist got accolades. The Room did not.
Yeah.
But apparently, on the last day of it being in cinemas, the last day of the run, it only sold 10 tickets.
That sounds about right.
So, the original script of The Room was significantly longer, containing long monologues to camera, 12-minute sex scenes, and allegedly, if they'd stuck to the original script, the movie would have been 3.5 hours long. I kind of want to see it. I kind of want to see what The Room would be. Wiseau has claimed that he is currently in talks with having The Room made into a Broadway musical. Again, I'd go see it.
Aye.
Now, this is my favourite one. This is my favourite one. I don't know if it's true. I really hope it is. Apparently, Tommy Wiseau did his own recut of The Room where Johnny is a vampire. So it's basically the same movie, but there's extra added shots of like Tommy Wiseau with fake vampire teeth in, and a CGI scene of him flying in the sky just manically laughing. But apparently he did. No, I know.
Fuck's sake.
Apparently he did take that to production and was like, please, can this be a vampire movie? And they were like, fuck off.
Aye.
So he was like,
You've
all
ripped
right.
the arse out of it
Yeah,
enough.
apparently they told him it wasn't within like the budget of the production, and he was like, bastard. Like, so that's how there's just these random scenes. I would watch the vampire cut. I'd fucking do
It
it.
would probably make more sense.
Yeah, it would make sense of why he acts, because obviously, like, he's not human. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you would let it pass. Right, Ross? Do you want to do it?
I will get into the A's.
Right.
That sounds good. Right, I'll
You
start.
start.
I'll start us off. Right. Why does the mum just announce she's got cancer?
Oh my god,
Then
I had that.
never fail to mention it again.
I had that. Like, she's randomly ranting about our brother trying to steal her house, casually drops in, I got the results back, I have breast cancer. Then immediately starts moaning at Lisa, being like, you can't leave Johnny, I
Aye.
don't care if he hits you, like, he gives you
And
money.
Lisa's just like, you'll be all right.
Yeah, like, now, we all know the script is shocking, but what the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not even one follow-up, do you know what I mean?
Nope.
He has said now in follow-up interviews that he believes that Lisa's mum successfully survived breast cancer. We're like, we barely even knew she fucking had
But
it.
does they fucking matter, right? Because you don't. It's never mentioned again.
No, I know.
And the other one I've got here is, what the fuck's Danny's problem? Danny, whatever his name is.
Yeah, oh, I hate this wee
Like,
creep. I hate
He's
him.
a mad creeper. Like, mad voyeur trying to spy on them, have
And
sex
he-
pretty much.
Aye, pure leaps in. Like, they're like, oh, we need a nap, Danny. And then he runs up while
Aye.
they're like, nah,
He's
boat.
getting everything paid for him.
100%.
He's a mad fucking junkie, drug dealer, whatever.
Whatever, we don't
Like,
know. It's never confirmed.
There's something alright about that cunt.
No,
He's a fucking wrongin'.
I know.
Check his hard drives. He's a fucking gimp.
Somebody phone Kendrick Lamar, it's not him, I know. I just also want to know why every sex scene is the creepiest sex scene you have ever seen in your life.
Like shagging the belly button.
Right? Shag at the belly button, the noises he's making, like,
Aye.
those are not sex noises, those are just like, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, no. And like, the music is so corny, and then the way he's like scattering rose petals on her
Yeah.
as he like stares unblinkingly at her, and his eyes like, what's happening here? Like, what?
No, it's grim.
And I feel like in his head he was like, yes, this is amazing, and everyone else is like, ugh.
Aye. Don't want an open set for that.
Yeah, fuck off.
We've already went over Scotchka, but
Scotchka.
how apparently he doesn't drink, yet he drinks that like a champ.
Didn't he?
There's not an issue with it.
Aye.
Which leads me into my other thing, the pizza order. Now that's a fucking disgrace.
What's the pizza?
I'm
order
not
again?
a pizza guy, right? Fair enough. I shouldn't have a say in this, but half and half Canadian bacon and pineapple,
Mm-hmm.
another half's artichoke and pesto, more light on the cheese.
That sounds fucking awful.
Yeah. Now,
I'm a pizza guy, and I would turn my nose up at
but
that.
who, when he's writing this, he's like,
This is
that,
what humans eat.
aye, like, oh, this is great. Like, I could have had millions of views on this, but I've tried to cut it down to so we're not sitting here for hours, just like, because the whole movie's a big,
yeah,
like, the whole
yeah.
story behind it is, but like, as soon as I heard that pizza thing, I was like, nah, that sounds revolting,
Yeah,
regardless
that's
if you like pizza or not.
Hideous, absolutely not. Yeah, no, I'd hit you if that
Aye.
pizza came up.
Another thing, like, I'm on a
You're
roll
on
now.
one now.
Aye,
I
is
got
it,
see if you steal any of mine.
like, Mark changes his mind like very quickly.
Oh yeah, he is flip flopping.
Aye.
Yeah.
Like, fucking pick a lane.
Yeah, because like at the start he's like, no, we can't. Johnny's my best friend. Then he's like, absolutely, Lisa, let's go. Then at the very end of the movie, he's like, you never had me. You're a tramp. What? Like,
But it's not even
and
that.
between
It's the,
that, he's like, I'll leave him and hurry up, man up. I want you. Blah blah blah.
Aye.
What?
but like, he turns on Johnny rapid
Very quickly.
Aye.
Yeah.
over a fight at the party, which he called because he's pumping his
Lisa,
pal's fiance.
aye.
How did?
No,
Well,
listen,
there's
I
no
know.
sense.
I absolutely know. And he sits there, see when he's like, This I was had this in A. I'm gonna like hit ears. See when he's talking to the psychiatrist pal, Peter,
Aye.
and Peter's like, "I know you're having an affair with Lisa." Mark just grabs this guy, dangles him
I
off
was
the
he going to
roof,
do? Kill him?
grabs him, no, but dangles him off the roof, then brings him back and goes, "Sorry, man." The Peter's like, "Don't worry about it." What?
Aye.
Like,
You were going to fucking murder him?
your pal has just dangled you over a roof, and you're just going to sit there and be like, "Rap us." Do you know what I mean?
Aye,
I'd be like, "No, bolt
like
up for the police."
none of this makes sense.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I also want to know how there's the weird guy with like the pigeon shit hairdo,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's like him and his birds go to Lisa and Johnny's to like make out,
Aye.
right, with those weird facial expressions, right? Now, everyone in this movie looks. I mean, I don't think age is ever like this is Mark. He is
Yeah, yeah.
24, but like everyone in this movie looks late 20s to early 30s, right? But they just go to Lisa and Johnny's house to like make out quotation marks, right? Where's your house? Yous look old enough to have a house. Yous are
Uh-huh.
old enough to be turning around to Lisa later on, being like, "Hombre, you're going to pure wreck your friendship."
Yeah.
Like, why are you going to somebody else's house to pump your boyfriend? Like, what the fuck? I honestly think this is why Zoe just being like, "Aye, we can sneak in an extra half sex scene. Hurry up, man."
Just fucking grim.
It's
Like,
so bizarre.
I think everybody was going to get a sex scene in this.
Honestly, I think if they'd been like, "One more," he'd have been like, "I no bother."
Aye.
I want to know. So know the florist scene where she's like, "You're my favorite customer,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hi, doggy." I want to know how many times you go to a florist to buy a dozen red roses at 18 quid a pop for her to turn around and be like, "You're my favorite customer." Do you know what I mean? Like, is he there daily? Is he funding this women's florist shop? Apparently, she wasn't even an actor. Apparently,
No, she
that
just
was like
worked
a
there.
real florist shop. And see that, oh, hi, doggy. He didn't know the dog was real. They all thought the dog was a statue because the dog was like old and just sat
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
And he was like fascinated by this dog and like how this should have been in useless information. He was so fascinated by this dog and how this dog could sit still all day. He just used to sit in between takes and just stare at the dog. Like, this is allegedly true.
I wouldn't surprise me.
No, right?
The dog's
100%.
doing more acting than him.
100%. 100%. See as well. Sorry. So the hi Mark, right?
Yeah.
See that whole scene? Baffling, right? This is all that goes down in this 3 minutes, right? So Johnny walks in raging. "I did not hit her. I did not." Throws the water bottle. "Oh, hi Mark." Asks Mark how his sex life is. Mark telling him that he's having girl troubles. Mark then says a story about a girl being beaten up, to which Johnny laughs and goes, "Oh, what a story, Mark." Then Denny pops up. Mark fucks off. Denny pops up, confesses his love for Lisa, is like, "I just want to kiss her and tell her how I love her." Johnny just laughs and goes, "It's okay. She loves you too.
Yeah.
We're all people." Then they go for food and see a movie. In 3 minutes. Like,
He tries to make a pass at Lisa a few times.
he
in this.
really does. Like, no,
Opens the
when,
door, "Oh, you look dead
"Can
sexy."
I kiss you?"
Aye, and just
What
laughs
the
at-
fuck?
that I'm only joking. Is it? You tell me, fuck off.
Hombre.
After fucking Johnny's paying you renting that for you.
Paying his college tuition as
Uh-huh.
well. See as well, the psychologist pal, right? Starts off bald and specky, then gets recast by the end of the movie.
I'm
like
certain
a
that's
full
him.
head of
Aye.
hair.
Like, he just disappears.
And he's like, yeah, he's like so bizarre. Like, they ask him for like relationship problems, he gives them the answer, and then Johnny's like, "I do not want you to play psychologist with me." It's like, what?
Yeah,
And
you
then
just did.
he like that's when they're playing football in the suits, and
Aye.
then he trips, and they're like, "Oh, you're so clumsy." It's
Aye.
like, what the fuck?
Never,
is
never
going
see him again.
No, and he just comes back as like a fully headed hair guy.
That's a fucking. It's mind-boggling.
No, 100%.
Like, it's just such a mess of a film. Yeah, I don't know what makes me keep going back to watch it.
No,
I genuinely
100%.
don't know.
100%.
I think it's because it's so bizarre. You're like, what? Like, you try and make sense of it and you can't.
No, there's yeah, that's the thing, is like you and me would like stop taking notes and turn around to each other and be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah,
But
what happened here?
yeah, we were trying to find logic in a movie where there is none. But
Nah.
like, I suppose it is like, it's so bad that that's why it's got its cult following and stuff. But like, I genuinely think it's because we're watching it sober. I think we need to go back to watching this movie with a
Watching it
drink in
pissed,
us.
aye.
But I ain't bother.
Aye.
See as well now, again, I know I'm trying to find logic and somewhere where there is none, right? But the timeline of this movie is really fucking
Yeah.
bizarre, right? So the first bit where she's like to Greg, I need to see you, and Greg goes, I'll meet you tomorrow at noon, and then it's just noon the next day.
Yeah.
But then the day after Scotchka Gate, right? That seems to go on for like half the movie.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about how she's got like a month till the wedding, but then the next minute they're all showing up in tuxedos, but then the wedding's never spoke about, and everyone's like, oh my god, you need to hurry up and tell him you're cheating on him, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's. I don't know why I'm thinking, but I'm like, what was going on here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why are they all just randomly in fucking suits? Like, Tommy, do you know what? I would love to be like, I'm going to phone Tommy up and find out, but I don't know.
I don't even think he knows at this stage.
No, 100%.
He'll just make up some bullshit.
100%.
Right, so instead of best kill, worst kill, we're doing one best line, worst line.
Okay.
So, what is your best one?
Can I do the
You
impression?
can do what you want.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa! What's yours?
You're my favourite customer, Johnny. That's...
Oh, hi, doggy.
Hey, doggy.
Okay. What's your worst line?
Leave your stupid comments in your pocket.
What?
Leave your stupid comments in your pocket. See when the
What?
fully grown hair, like all the grown hair psychologist comes in,
Uh-huh.
and he says to him, you need to stop doing this with Lisa. That's what he says to him. Try to act tough. Leave your stupid comments in your pocket.
Incredible. Fucking incredible.
Disgrace.
How was that gone straight over my head? I was like, are you
Oh,
I honestly looked at you there like you were tripping balls. It's like, sorry. My worst line isn't a line. It's a song. So I think I can't remember if it's sex scene number 2 or 3, but no, the one where it's like, you are my rose, you are my rose. Get that in the fucking bin now. Every time I'm like, nah, but do you have a discount version of?
I don't think you can.
So I had just the guy singing the first sex scene song as discount version of Seal, but I also put, if you want to go off the cast of the Disaster Artist, Dave Franco's discount Greg Sestero. Josh Hutcherson's supposed to be discount Denny, but I don't see it at all.
Nah.
But also, I don't think any of theirs. I mean, obviously James Franco with all the makeup was a discount version, but I wouldn't count that. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, they're far more they're better at playing them
than
they
were. Allegedly, the story from Disaster Artist about the Malcolm in the Middle thing, for anyone that doesn't know, Greg Sestero had like the big beard and the long hair, and he was scouted for an episode of Malcolm in the Middle, and he was only going to miss something like 1 or 2 days of filming.
Yeah.
But every day Tommy Wiseau wanted everyone on set at 8 a.m, but Tommy Wiseau wouldn't show up till like noon, right? And he was like, no, it's very important that Mark must shave his beard. It is very important to the character. The fuck it was. And like Greg Sestero was like fuming because obviously he missed his big break, shall we say, on Malcolm in the Middle.
This is probably the most successful with that episode would have been, so I don't really think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, totally. Do you have a worst guy whose hairline's receding?
Let's go with the highlight guy.
Really?
Blonde highlights, like, I don't know what movie he thought, like, how can you fuck up an already fucked up movie?
I honestly, see by his facial expressions alone, right? See when he's like nipping his bird and all she's doing is kissing like his chest, and the facial expressions, it's given like American Pie. It's given like a sex high school movie when you were younger.
Even at the party when they're eating the cake, like, it does this stupid face. Do you think you're the comic relief in this movie?
Yeah, like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, did he tell you that you're the one that's to make people laugh? Because it's not working.
And then he just like randomly tips over onto bins when they're playing football and that. It's like, yeah, he's fucking awful.
Aye, what's yours?
Right, so mine's is just Denny, right? But I'm gonna tell you everything Denny does in the movie,
Aye,
right?
go for it.
So, inserts himself into their sexy pillow fight. Permo is carrying that fucking football and wants everyone to play football every 5 seconds. The line, I just like to watch you guys. That's enough. Asking Lisa if he can kiss her twice.
Yep.
pops in asking for bacon supplies fucking randomly, owes that drug dealer money that is then never addressed or pops up ever again, confesses he is madly in love with the fiance of the man who is paying for his flat and his college
Basically paying his
tuition.
life, aye.
Fuck off. Yeah, wee weirdo. To be fair though, he is the only person that's like really sad when Tommy's dead at the end. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're all trying to blame each other. Do you know what I mean? Lisa's like, this is on you, Mark. Mark's like, you're a fucking tramp. And Denny's just at the back like, no. It's because he knows he's going to pay his rent.
Aye, he's raging.
That's it.
So, I'm out. Do you have a part?
Okay. I kind of want to just say turn the whole movie off, but then that goes back on that this is a 10 out of 10 would watch again. Do you know what I mean? I would say I'm out sober, drunk. I watch the whole thing.
See, that's what I've got. It's a difficult one because you shouldn't watch this movie.
No.
But it's such a bizarre experience that if you haven't seen it, at least watch it once. Like, don't let what we say put you off, because this is, watching it is a lot better than how it sounds.
Yeah. No, like, we sound like we hate this movie. And I mean, I'm not going to say we love this movie, but we've had a lot of good times watching this movie. Like,
watch it with a few pals.
Yep, and a couple of drinks, play the room drinking game, have a laugh, like. Or
if it ever comes back to the cinema to do a thing, go to it because it's funny.
Yeah, you said it was
great.
You
just get to horror abuse.
Amazing.
And it's good.
Aye, perfect.
Aye, there's no. It's like you can't even like, oh, I won't watch this bit because then you know, oh, this is a bit with the weird fucking noises and that, and it's just totally it's pointless. Like
every scene has something. For all the whole movie, you're sitting there like, how many times did I turn around and you had your head in your hands? Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
But like every scene has one iconic line. Do you know what I mean? Or one iconic bit, and I say iconic loosely, like
this
loosely
is more memorable
like
than some of your bigger
movies.
100%. Like your blockbuster, like the room's more well remembered more than that.
Absolutely, and like again, even off the back of like. So this came out in what, 2003? 2017 they made a movie about the making of it, and it reignited it, so everybody's gone back and everybody's
doing The Room Returned, where it's like serious actors like remaking this film.
Please fucking don't. Please actually don't. You were saying this earlier on. You said Mike Flanagan's attached to it.
He's in it. Like he's not
in it.
He's a psychologist.
Oh god.
But is it Bob Odenkirk?
Yes. him from Breaking Bad and Nobody.
He plays Johnny.
Oh my god.
But apparently there's footage of it online.
You're tearing me apart though.
Like, it'll just be good. Like
like it'll be. That's the thing though, right? Is like for all we're slagging this movie and we can be like, I'm out. I'm never gonna not watch anything about it. Right? Like any interviews pop up, any mad stupid videos come up, I will consume that content. Do you know what I mean? Like
the story behind this movie's like far outdoes the movie itself.
Oh yeah. And like the legend of Wiseau, do you know what I mean? On like all his different like tales of his background and all this kind of thing. Like you watch this and you're like, this guy's cracked. Like I feel like when you watch The Room now, knowing what everyone knows kind of thing from the book, from the movie, from whatever, like you're watching it with all that in the back of your head being like, yep, cool. Like, do you know what I mean?
You can kind of understand it a bit better knowing what he's like.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
Because some of the fight scenes, they were proper raging.
Oh, Greg's is how Paula wanted to go for him.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like, definitely wanted to throw a sneaky punch up
there. Yeah. Whip, sorry.
Oh, that's going to have happened.
Totally. But, like, that's the thing is, this is a niche movie that, like, if you've got a group of people coming up and there's about 1,000 room drinking games, if that's your bag, like, definitely do it. It's a good laugh. Do you know what I mean? Don't watch this movie to be like, oh my god, this is like the worst thing in cinematic ever. Like, of course it is, but it adds to it. It makes it like
it's the best worst movie.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst made movie.
No.
It's just nonsense. Like, it's the story and that is nonsense in it.
Yeah. No, the plot is so thin.
Yeah.
And there's like such random dramatic points, like which is kind of why I want to see. I would like see the 3.5 hour original bit where I wonder if the mum having breast cancer was like more of a part. I wonder if the drug dealer was more of a part.
Wouldn't they have like Where would that have went?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Is like
They couldn't have taken it anywhere.
he says this is supposed to be this like epic drama, but like what else was he going to add in? Where was he going to take all these things? Like it mind boggles to try and even think in the way of Tommy Wiseau. Do you know what I mean? Like it's fucking mental. I love that we're like, this is shite, and then we're like, watch it, everyone watch it.
Oh no, you should. If you've not seen it, just watch it once. It's an hour 40. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah, I love that. Last week we were like, oh yeah, we'll do a comedy. This is the closest we're getting, guys. Like this is
as good as a comedy.
Yeah.
Like that's what he said. It's a black comedy. So it's
if you want,
it's funny to watch.
If you want,
fun to watch and take a piss out of. So go for it.
Totally. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode, guys. Next week we'll come to you. We'll go action next week. Not done action for a while.
I will get something sorted for it.
Stunning. Well, as usual, join us over on Instagram at 10 out of 10 would watch again, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.